of the year has turned once more, and it's time to welcome in our first seasonal checkpoint of the new year, February's Eve. It's the midpoint between the Winter Solstice and the Spring Equinox. Known to Celtic pagans as Imbolc, this quiet little celebration is what I like to call the best-kept secret of the solar festivals. While it's one of the most overlooked seasonal celebrations in modern culture, it's an absolute gem for the self-care enthusiast. With the big fall and winter holidays behind us, February's Eve, celebrated around February 1st, is literally the breath of fresh air we need to settle into our resolutions and intentions for the year to come. Unlike holidays like Halloween and the Yuletide season, which were converted from nature-based celebrations into religious holidays and then adapted back into popular culture, the wonderful thing about February's Eve is that while it does have correspondences with the Christian Candlemas and the Celtic pagan Festival of Imbolc, this celebration really never gained as much popularity and thereby never gained as much commercialism or controversy as some of the other holidays on the calendar. Fittingly, February's Eve is generally celebrated as the time of calm, quiet, and cleansing, all of which might be desperately needed for many of us after the dark themes of autumn and then the hectic winter holiday season. Whether you look to the Celtic pagan themes of Imbolc, or the more Christianized incarnation of Candlemas, or Brigid's Day, which seems to be celebrated by both some Christians and some pagans, or if you're like me and you just tune into the natural energies of the time of year without religious connotations, the biggest themes always seem to be cleansing, purification, and a fresh start. In this video, I'll share with you some of my personal favorite simple, low-key themes and traditions for this late winter season. Accepting the present moment. For many of us, the winter is a strange combination of hibernation and overstimulation. While the popular winter holidays have us bustling around like crazy, in colder climates like mine, we also tend to want to hide away indoors and kind of think of going outside almost as a chore this time of year. After the intensity of the darkening months and the overindulgence of the holidays, we may be left feeling a bit of seasonal depression. Right now, nature is providing us with the perfect moment to pause and reset our vibration before energy picks back up again for spring. By focusing my self-care and self-development practices around the most important themes of the February's Eve season, I've been able to connect to my intuition and create the type of calm inner space that will help shape my life as each year progresses. Cleansing and purification. During the winter, it's easy to begin to feel the energy in your life begin to stagnate. Spending so much time indoors may have led to some clutter around your home, or you may have settled into some bad habits for the sake of comfort and entertainment, and maybe your body is suffering from all the rich foods and drinks associated with the winter holidays. And maybe being inside so much has led to not naturally moving your body as much. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, this is the time to gradually begin our spring cleaning. If your winter holiday decorations haven't been taken down yet, now is a great time to put them all away for next year and dust under them. Instead of clinging to those midwinter comforts, it's time to air things out and begin to look at the fresh new year ahead. Now, quick disclaimer here, if you watched my Winter Solstice videos from this year, you know that I am trying something a little bit different this year. Instead of celebrating the winter holiday season with reds and greens, I decided to decorate for the whole winter season using blues and whites, which for me make it a little bit easier to transition into the late winter season and get away with leaving up some of the festive decorations. But that being said, it's still time for me to take some things down and dust under some things. For example, this year I brought in some live evergreen branches that had fallen from a tree in my local park, and some of them will be sticking around for longer because I put them in water and they're actually staying super fresh and bringing some life into my home. However, others that did not end up in water as part of my decorating scheme have already started to wilt, and it's really not good vibes to keep dead or dying things around in the home. So these ones I will be taking down and composting out in nature. And on the same token as cleaning up the winter holiday decor, it's also a great idea to do a spiritual cleansing of your home as well. Burn some smudging herbs, make a clearing spray for your house, or try the Four Corners Home Blessing, all of which I have videos on, which I have linked with this video. It's also a great idea to extend this theme of cleansing to your body and mind. If you haven't explored the practice of ritual bathing, now is a wonderful time to try it out. Take the time to begin a new cleansing ritual that will scrub away those winter blues and prepare your skin for the coming spring. Bathing rituals are just one example of how you can evoke your desired feelings for the year ahead using simple elemental magic. For some ideas for how to create daily rituals that use all four of the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, I invite you to check out this video, which I've recently created on that subject. Healing and self-love. A lot of us have a way of putting the needs of others or ambitious goals before our personal self-care. Now that the obligations of the winter holiday season are over, it's time to focus on yourself. Doing a dietary fast or cleanse is a great way to cleanse your body from the inside, and you'll be surprised how changing what you put into your body can help with mental, emotional, and spiritual clarity as well. February's Eve is also the perfect time to start a new meditation practice or schedule in some time for regular reading, exercising, or journaling in a peaceful setting. I tend to find this time of year as a great time to start reading or studying a subject that I want to help improve my life with in the year ahead as well. Are you still holding on to anything physically, mentally, or emotionally from last year that just isn't serving you? Now is the time to become quiet and calm and create space for your intuition to shine through in new ways. Something that I think I've said a million times here on my YouTube channel, as well as in my podcast and my blog posts and my courses, is that the whole point of the Wheel of the Year, for me anyway, is to have not one, but 8 different opportunities over the course of the year to get back on track with your desired goals and intentions for your life. Rather than feeling obligated to be doing it perfectly in January because that's the start of the Gregorian calendar year, this way you have the option of doing it in stages. You can set intentions perhaps at the winter solstice, and then start gradually feeling into what your daily rituals are going to look like in order to support those intentions as you create a sustainable new lifestyle for the year to come. So if you're looking at your life from January and realizing that there's still a long way to go to really shift into your next level self, there's no reason to beat yourself up. You can just take this cross-quarter checkpoint as a reminder to take whatever the next steps are while feeling into what your wants and needs truly are as you experience things. And the Spring Equinox is just going to be another reminder to take whatever the next step is after that. It's a beautiful, gradual unfoldment that when you look back at the end of the year, you will realize has been immensely powerful without being overwhelming. I find that aromatherapy and color therapy are very helpful during the February's Eve season. Peaceful, calming, and airy scents like lavender and jasmine are a nice change from all those heavier, foodier scents from the solstice season like cinnamon and vanilla. And as I mentioned, while Halloween and Yuletide tend to bring in those dense, lower chakra type colors like oranges, reds, golds, and browns, I like to take this time towards the end of winter to incorporate those calming winter whites, silvers, and blues instead to promote a sense of fresh clarity. keeping the inner light aglow. This time of year is about remembering and honoring the inner life force energy of Mother Earth and of ourselves. While depending on where you live, January and February, and gosh, even March if you live here in Western New York, can be the actual coldest and most miserable wintry feeling days of the year, this is a time to remember that regardless of what the weather happens to be doing, the days are still growing longer, and inevitably, true spring weather will have to return. In much the same way, we can think of our inner light as growing stronger as we gradually come out of hibernation and re-emerge as our next level selves as the year begins to shape up. A popular tradition of the Imbolc celebration is to light a candle and place it in the snow or in the barren ground outside, symbolizing the eventual thawing and reawakening of the life force of the land. This candle can also represent your inner light, which is now in the beginning phases of planting the seeds of intention that'll blossom into your manifestations as the year continues to evolve. You can take a moment with your candle to hold space for that potential and to acknowledge where you're currently at with your New Year's intentions, and take this time to dream about just how big and beautiful those intentions have the potential of becoming as the sun waxes towards fullness and the earth gradually begins to bud and flower around you. February's Eve is a wonderful reminder that while spring weather may seem far off depending on where you live, nature is still creating beauty in our lives, even now, and it deserves a closer look. Rather than just rushing towards the spring equinox, or Easter as our commercial society tends to have us do, or simply rushing from the house to the car and back without looking around, now is the perfect time to actually step outside and take in a deep breath of that cold, crisp winter air, appreciating it for what it is. Whether you decide to go for a nice long walk in nature, or if you just decide to step out your door for 1 minute to take in the view and the cold air, you'll be surprised how good it feels to pause from your routine and simply be in the present moment, in the presence of nature. Even in my busy, semi-urban suburban neighborhood in the middle of 4 lanes of traffic, I notice that when there's a fresh snow outside, it's pretty calm out there. People are hiding away, and the animals and elements are coming out to shine, and I'm able to notice them in ways that maybe would go unnoticed when there's too much hustle and bustle from human activity. Regardless of what kind of environment you live in, you'll be surprised what you see if you step out of your usual routines and just observe what's going on outside during this seemingly dormant time of the year. So whether you're used to celebrating Imbolc, Candlemas, or Brigid's Day in any specific way, or if you're brand new to this Wheel of the Year checkpoint like I was 8 years ago when I first learned about it, I invite you to perhaps take this time of year to try something new for February's Eve season. It can be literally anything that evokes the energy of your next level version of yourself that you're desiring to grow into this year. And if you're looking to get more clear on what that looks and feels like for you, I would love to invite you to try my February's Eve season journal prompts. You can grab my beautifully designed journal prompt pages as a printable download, or you can order pre-printed copies from my shop. Or if you want to dive in with both feet, I invite you to join me for my full year in a day journaling adventure, which is called Your Book of Seasons. This is where you get lifetime access to not only all of my seasonal journaling printables, but also my library of lesson videos on how to use the energies of the seasons to manifest fulfillment in your life through what I like to call the plant, tend, harvest, release cycle. And if you're enjoying these videos that I've been creating for you here on YouTube, it would mean so much to me if you would consider supporting me on Patreon. Every tier includes some kind of journaling goodies for you each month, and you can donate as little as $5.55 per month. And since someone actually asked this in a comment recently, I would also like to let you know that if you don't want to join for a monthly subscription on Patreon, there's also a link below where you can just support me with a single one-time donation of any amount via PayPal. Thank you so much for being here and being your most magical self. Here are some more videos about seasonal living that may inspire you, and until next time, blessed be.